Hi and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to SuperGrads. My name is Abhyansh Sir and I'm back with session number 4 on this Word Palm ADZ series. So, unfortunately, we did not have a session yesterday, but here I am with some very important words from the book Word Palm ADZ. And today's session is about different type of speakers and how to insult your enemies. So ये हमारे दो सेशंस आज इस बुक के दो सेशंस आज के इस यूट्यूब सेशन पे हम खत्म करने वाले हैं एंड वी हैव वन मोर सेशन लेफ्ट दैट विल बी टुमारो और उसके बाद वर्ड पाम एडीजी बुक हो जाएगी खत्म दैट विल वील कम टू द एंड ऑफ दिस सीरीज. So let's begin with things, students, and let's talk about different type of speakers that we have. Of course, you must have seen a lot of TED talks. सबका अपना अपना स्टाइल होता है, अपना अपना तरीका होता है of how they wish to use the words. So hi Aditi, hi everyone. I believe I'm audible and visible to all of you. Here is our first word, students, and that is garrulous. Garrulous, Gary, and his personality. And how can we remember it is not just that simple कि मैंने आपको कोई वर्ड बता दिया और वर्ड 3D में उठ के आपके अंदर सिस्टम में चला जाएगा. It doesn't work like that. So what are the ways? क्या कर सकते हैं? Let's see what does the word garrulous mean. So garrulous Gary never pauses. He speaks like a machine gun. So one thing is for sure that this person has a lot of words. He's a chatterbox. अभी तक जो मुझे समझ आ रहा है. He's relentless, excessive, and often irrelevant. तो जिन words की जरूरत भी नहीं है, he's using those words as well. He'll describe what he had for breakfast, lunch, and what he thought of having for dinner. So garrulous is someone who is talkative, especially about trivial matters. So the Latin root garrire is to chatter. Garrulous Gary. Even when you ask, Gary, how did you come to office today? And the simple answer that I'm expecting is he would say, I came by a bus, I came by cab or something. But वो बस का भी पूरा डिस्क्रिप्शन, I came by a bus, जहाँ पे ड्राइवर बड़ा थ्रेटनिंग सा लग रहा था. He stopped at 4 places. He had poha and jalebi. Now all these things are not relevant. All these things are very trivial in that sense. So that is how garrulous speakers are. So they are talkative and often, especially about trivial matters, matters that are of no significance. So that was our first type of speaker. Can you name any personality, any person, any news anchor that you feel is very garrulous? If you are into news or if you are into podcast also, कोई podcast का person आपको ऐसा लगता हो who's garrulous? If you do, मुझे chat section में आप बता सकते हो. So that was the first kind of speaker that we were talking about. Then we have verbose Vanessa. Verbose, the word means full of words. Full of words. Now one might wonder, कि sir, Garrulous was also full of word. Gary का भी वही personality था. So how is it different from Vanessa? Let's read what she has to offer. What kind of speaker is she? So Vanessa writes or speaks with long-winded ways. Even a yes take 5 sentences. So verbose is using more words than necessary. Verbose is using more words than necessary. So again, simple situation को express करने के लिए you come with a lot of different words, different sentences, and it is unreasonably lengthy. That is exactly what verbose is. So verbose अब इस different type of speakers में भी we'll try and make some subcategories. So garrulous, verbose ये एक ही category के लोग हैं. They are using more words. They are using garrulous थोड़ा सा irrelevant words use करना, but verbose is someone जो छोटी सी बात का भी description बड़े flowery and lengthy sentences में देना पसंद करता है. So that is the difference in personality between Gary and Vanessa. That was our second type of speaker for today's session. Again, memory hook. And a verbum is for word. O's is full of, so full of words. याद रखोगे verbal volcano Vanessa. Verbal volcano Vanessa, क्या figure of speech use हो रहा है students? Of course, we are studying word palm ADZ, but figures of speech भी exam point of view से equally important है. क्या figure of speech हो रहा है? If we talk about verbal volcano Vanessa. So that was our second type of speaker for today's session. Let's move to the third one, students. That is loquacious Larry. Loquacious Larry, someone who's a chatterbox, someone who just keeps saying things without stopping, without stopping. So Larry is very sociable and engaging. Unlike Gary, he knows how to hold an interesting conversation. So the difference between Gary and Larry is Gary सिर्फ बोल रहा है, Garrulous Gary सिर्फ बोल रहा है, irrelevant words भी बोल रहा है. But Larry is quite wise with his words. He knows how to hold a conversation. Loquacious है, talkative है, but meaningful बातें बोल रहा है, meaningful बातें बोल रहा है. Loquacious is very talkative, often charmingly, often in a charming manner. There are some small ones. There are some kids जिनकी बातें बहुत सारी बातें वो करते हैं, but उनकी वो सारी बातें हमें अच्छी भी लगती हैं. So that is what loquacious is. The root word loc here is for talk. The root word loc here is for talk. Memory hook, Larry the loquacious lawyer. Larry the loquacious lawyer. Again, there's use of alliteration in these sentences. Silver tongues, smiling eyes. So Larry or Gary, that is someone being a loquacious and someone being garrulous. दोनों में difference ये है कि loquacious, if someone is loquacious, we like them because their use of words is very good. But when it comes to someone who's garrulous, we often get annoyed कि यार बहुत ज़्यादा एक ही तरीके के words use हो रहे हैं. So that is where the difference lies between loquacious and garrulous. Now on this root word loc, this means to talk. So we can build many words. We can write words like a monologue, soliloquy, dialogue, and many more. We can write prologue, epilogue. All these words are based on speaking or talk. So it's not just about that one particular root word. What also matters that we build peripheral words around that root word. अगर आप कोई भी root word पढ़ते हो, your agenda, your killer instinct should be like यार इस root word के around अब जितने word मुझे एग्जाम में ट्रबल कर सकते हैं, I should get rid of them. I should ensure that I have got all those things covered. So that is what the root word loc was, and we had words like loquacious. Monologue, एक person बोल रहा है, बाकी लोग सुन रहे हैं. That is a monologue. Soliloquy is your self-talk, something that you when you talk to yourself in the mirror, that is soliloquy. Dialogue, again between multiple people, that is dialogue. Prologue and epilogue are used before plays and before books. That is what prologue and epilogue are. So these are some of the important words based on that root word log. Next up we have taciturn Tanya. So अभी तक जो words चल रहे थे ना, अभी तक the people like Gary that is garrulous, verbose Vanessa, and Larry the loquacious one. These three words or these three kind of speakers were in one category of people who use a lot of words, again often in a good manner and sometimes in a bad manner as well. Now from here on we have taciturn Tanya. Tanya का image आप देख रहे हो, she's sitting peacefully. So taciturn people are not someone who use a lot of words. Example, Tanya is calm, mysterious, and you'll rarely hear her speak unless it's urgent. Reserved and uncommunicative in speech. They rarely speak. जब तक बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी नहीं है, they are disinclined towards speaking. They do not want to waste their words. They do not want to waste their energy. So that is what taciturn people are. Tacitus is for silent. So Tanya talks 10 words a week. Now, it is apart from being an alliteration, that is an exaggeration as well. 10 words a week. If you say someone speaks 10 words a week, that means बहुत कम बोल रहा है, disinclined towards speaking anything. Disinclined towards speaking. That is what taciturn Tanya is. So as I said, तीन हमारे different type of speakers थे who were full of words. Now we come to a category जहां पर लोग बोलना कम पसंद कर रहे हैं. Reticent राहुल इमेज देख रहे हो, उसकी जुबान पे लॉक लगा हुआ है. He's not silent out of rudeness, he's just shy, he holds back unless prompted. Reticent, rather, not revealing one's thoughts or feelings, to keep silent. Reserved in nature. Reserved in nature, very reserved in nature. That is what reticent Rahul is. मतलब बोलना नहीं चाह रहा है बिल्कुल भी. So Rahul reserves remarks. He reserves his remarks. That is a memory hook. That is a way that you can remember this word. Again, it's not just about going through these words and learning these words. What matters is कि एग्जाम सिचुएशन में आपको ये चीजें याद हो, एग्जाम सिचुएशन में आप ऑप्शंस एलिमिनेट कर पाओ. आई थिंक गोइंग फॉरवर्ड ये आपका तरीका होना चाहिए. So that is reticent Rahul. Next up, we have inarticulate era. Inarticulate speech. Ira tries to speak, but it just doesn't come out right. Words fail when her emotions rise. So unable to express thoughts clearly. Articulate speaker is someone who expresses his thoughts clearly. Inarticulate speaker जो अपनी बात को अच्छे से present नहीं कर पाता है. So if someone is inarticulate, would you consider IRA for public speaking? कहीं पर speech देना है किसी स्कूल में, किसी प्लेटफॉर्म पे, would you consider IRA for that? Would you consider that, students? मुझे chat section में आप बता सकते हो. So root word in is for not, and articulate is to utter distinctly. So IRA's ideas inarticulately expressed. That means she is not able to express her ideas in a proper manner, in a clear, precise manner. That is what IRA is doing. All right, guys. So that was our sixth type of speaker for today's session. फिर से एक बार quick recap. Garrulous Gary, highly talkative. Verbose Vanessa. Loquacious Larry. फिर हमारी taciturn Tanya. Then there was, I guess there was reticent Rahul. Again, not speaking a lot. Inarticulate IRA. कोशिश कर रही है, but अपनी speech, अपने thoughts को अच्छे तरीके से प्रेजेंट नहीं कर पा रही है. दैट इज व्हाट इनआर्टिकुलेट एरा इज. नेक्स्ट अप वी हैव बेनल बॉब. अगेन ही इज आल्सो ट्राइंग अ लॉट, बट his words are quite ineffective. His words look very unoriginal, unimaginative. That is what banal means. His words are cliches. Every sentence sounds like something from a boring manual, something that you have heard for a plethora of times. कि यार ये तो सुना हुआ है, इसमें कुछ भी नया नहीं है. There's no originality. Banal is unoriginal, unimaginative. Banal is unoriginal, unimaginative. Predictable, unoriginal. Trite is also a synonym for banal. So, from French, of course, this word is taken, related to things so common they lack novelty. They lack newness. कुछ नया नहीं होता है यहाँ पे. So boring banal Bob says it is what it is 10 times a day. If you keep saying one thing repeatedly, it becomes banal. Now, what is important here that we build a lot of roots around of a lot of words around banal, and banal के कुछ synonyms हम लिख लेते हैं. Trite was one of them, students. So banal is humdrum. Humdrum is something that you do daily. So daily life. Daily life is boring. Then you can have word like prosaic. Prosaic is also a word quite similar to banal. Then you have word like humdrum. I think humdrum हम लिख चुके हैं. I beg your pardon. You can write platitude. You can write word like monotonous. Humdrum, prosaic, platitude, monotonous. These are some of the words that are of the same meaning as banal. So जब भी आप वर्ड पढ़ते हो you should have that attitude कि यार इस वर्ड के अराउंड जितने एक जैसे वर्ड्स हैं जितने सिमिलर वर्ड्स हैं मैं एक जगह पे कंपाइल कर लूं. That should be your way of learning words. So that was Banal Bob. What do we have next? We have Voluble Victor. So again, बहुत सारे words पढ़ के we are back to Voluble Victor, जिसके मुंह से words roll out हो रहे हैं. So again, using a lot of words here. Victor is smooth and rather too smooth. His speech flows fast, effortlessly, often overwhelming. Speaking incessantly and fluently. Incessantly means without stopping. Incessantly here is without stopping. So here the root word is volver, that is to roll. Victor's voice is verbal violin. ये आप याद रख सकते हो. But let's focus on this root word vol. So you have words like evolved. We have words like revolve. ठीक है. We have words like volumes. So volumes जो book के volumes होते थे students, they used to be rolled in papers. पहले के अगर आपने books देखे होंगे, so they used to be rolled like this. So again, all these words are based on the root word. Evolve means to roll out of something. Revolve, बार बार आप वहीं पे roll कर रहे हो, that is revolve. Again, you can add more words based on this root word. So that was revolve for you students. Next up, we have cogent Clara. Cogent is someone who's very fluent, someone who's very persuasive. So when Clara speaks, everyone listens. She's persuasive, clear, and logical, convincing and well reasoned. So Clara's cogent comebacks. Clara cogent आप ऐसे याद रख सकते हो यार. How can you relate? भाई LIC agent जो होता है. LIC agent. So agent and cogent आप relate कर सकते हो कि when LIC agents speak, they are very persuasive. They persuade you to buying their schemes or their policies. So agent and cogent ऐसे आप relate कर सकते हो. So that was cogent for you students. And the last type of speaker that we have is eloquent Elena. Eloquent is someone who speaks beautifully. मतलब उसकी speech सुनने में मजा आ जाता है. People like Shashi Tharoor, if you've seen his interviews, if you've seen him speak, he is the walking example of being eloquent. So Elena speaks with beauty and emotional force. Her TED Talks, of course, TED speakers, they are very eloquent, fluent or persuasive in speaking or writing. So Elena, the eloquent orator. So these were our 10 different type of speakers. We are done with the speakers wala part. Now let's talk about disrespecting our enemies. And one of the famous insults, of course, to have you have miles to go before you reach mediocre. That is an insult. That means कि वो person अभी बहुत नीचे है. So how to disrespect your enemies? Of course, it's not about that, but what matters here is कि हम वो words पढ़ें जो exam point of view से important है. ये तो सिर्फ एक category है. And उन words के around, if we can build something, we should try and do that. So the first word that we have is Martinet Max. Martinet Max. इसके personality के बारे में यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है. Just go through it and I'll explain what he's doing here. So if we talk about Martinet Max, so Martinet is someone who's very strict. Max is obsessed with rules, routines, and rigidity. You wear black socks on white shirt on Wednesday, you're dead to him, of course. So someone who's very strict in his dealings, that is what a Martinet is. So Martinet is a strict disciplinarian named after General Jean Martinet, a 17th century drill master. Memory hook. Max loves marches, measures, and micromanages. He is obsessed with things being as they are. मतलब उसमें कोई changes उसको पसंद नहीं है. He follows the rules and he wants everyone to do that. That is what a Martinet is, students. Next up we have Sycophant Sunny. Now Sycophant are people who just keep flattering their seniors in order to gain favors. Sycophant के लिए एक और मिलता जुलता, I'll tell you an idiom as well, to curry favor with someone. To curry favor with someone. So Sunny flatters the powerful until his tongue gets blisters. मतलब इस हद तक फ्लैटरी कि भाई टंग में छाले आ गए, ब्लिस्टर्स आ गए. He would say your breath smells like roses if you were his boss. So sycophant is a flatterer who acts for personal gain. And again ये इसके mnemonics, ये इसके root words का break दिया हुआ है. ठीक है, how different root words are added for sycophant. So the second type of personality that we are discussing here is sycophant. Sycophant is one who keeps flattering people for his benefits. Again, curry favor with someone का मतलब भी यही होता है. Next up we have dilettante dolly. Now dilettante are people starts painting on Monday, poetry on Tuesday, and by Friday she's a philosopher. So dilettante is someone who quickly changes his interest. ठीक है. Dilettante, a superficial dabbler in the arts of any field. Superficial dabbler, one who keeps changing his interest every day. So delectare, the Latin word is to delight. So Dolly dabbles, never delivers. Dolly dabbles but never delivers. So that is what dilettante Dolly is. Next up we have Virago Vicky. Now Virago is generally used for women and women who are very bad tempered, who love to pick a fight with someone. So she's fierce, loud, aggressive, and even makes grown men cry. So she is a Virago then. A Virago is a loud, domineering woman, originally meant for strong women. And Vicky's voice is verbal violence. Memory आप ऐसे याद रखने का ये तरीका हो सकता है कि someone's voice is verbal violence. Now Virago is again for bad-tempered or aggressive lady, bad-tempered. Aggressive lady. Next up, we have chauvinist Charlie. Now, people who are chauvinist, there are people who are patriotic. They love their country, they love their values, they love their cultures. But chauvinism is an extreme version of patriotism. कि मतलब हम हैं, हमारा religion है, हमारा country है, उसके अलावा कुछ भी नहीं. So that is what chauvinism is, extreme form of patriotism. So Charlie believes his gender or country is superior, and no, he is not open to any sort of discussion. उसने discussion वाला window ही shut कर रखा है. He is like जो मैं कह रहा हूँ वो सही कह रहा हूँ. It is that simple. ठीक है. Aditi, I think you must have seen the results are out. So आपके पास mail आया होगा if you are selected. Now, chauvinist, someone blindly and aggressively patriotic or sexist. Blindly aggressive, मतलब दूसरे का values को बिल्कुल respect नहीं करना. जो मेरा religion है, मेरा country है, मेरा sexual orientation है, he believes कि that is superior to everything. So Charlie cheers for himself only. He doesn't cheer for anyone else. He cheers for himself, मतलब अपनी चीजों के बारे में he is so obsessed. So that was chauvinistic Charlie. Next up we have iconoclast Ivy. Iconoclast, one who destroys established beliefs. One who destroys established beliefs. Ivy laughs at traditions, weddings. She believes weddings are overrated, religion, not interested. Ivy challenges everything. So she is in a habit of challenging every established belief. That is what Ivy does. So one who attacks traditional beliefs destroys traditional beliefs. Icon and Clisette is for breaker. So Ivy, the icon smasher, breaking the icon, breaking the rules, breaking everything that is conventional and breaking everything that is traditional. That is what Ivy does, and that is what her personality is. So that was iconoclast students. Next is monomaniac Monty. Now, monomaniac defines itself. Mono means single, and maniac means obsessed with it. So Monty is someone who is obsessed with one thing, whereas dilettante was someone who wanted to have superficial knowledge of, who was a dabbler in all the subjects. मोनोमेनियाक उसका उल्टा हुआ, एक ही सब्जेक्ट के लिए ऑब्सेशन है. Monty talks about aliens all the time. He's obsessed with one thing and it defines his life. So obsessed with one idea or pursue. Monty is man of mono mind. Mono is single and mind, of course, is one. So monomaniac. Maniac is someone who has obsession for something, and mono is for single particular idea or single particular habit. So that is what a monomaniac is, students. Next up, we have pyromaniac. The root word pyro. The root word pyro is for fire. He's not evil. He just loves fire. You'll often find him staring at a candle for unsettling joy. There are some weird people, I would say, who gain joy or who extract joy by just seeing a candle getting burned. So this person has obsession for fires. Pyromaniac, someone with an obsessive desire to start fires. So Percy plays with fire too often. That means he is very much obsessed with fires. Next up, we have egomaniac Ali. Now, egomaniac again, the root word ego is for self. So Ali thinks the sun rises because she opens her eyes. I wonder if you also fall into the same category as Ali is. There are people who believe that the sun rises because I am opening my eyes. But of course, that is not the case. Every conversation becomes about her. So egomaniac is someone who is obsessed with self-importance. Ali believes that everything starts and ends with her. That was egomaniac Ali, students. And hypochondriac Harry. Now, hypochondriac is a person जिसे हमेशा ये डर लगता है कि कहीं मैं बीमार तो नहीं हूँ, कहीं मेरे बॉडी में कुछ प्रॉब्लम तो नहीं हो रहा है. देयर आर पीपल जो छोटी छोटी चीज के लिए गोलियां खाने लगते हैं, छोटी छोटी चीज के लिए दे स्टार्ट गूगलिंग थिंग्स कि वो इफ आई हैव अ हेडेक व्हाट विल हैपन, एंड इवन व्हेन द गूगल सेज कि सब ठीक है, वो दूसरी वेबसाइट में पढ़ते हैं कि यार नहीं, कुछ सीरियस प्रॉब्लम हो गया है. सो दोस काइंड ऑफ पीपल आर हाइपोकॉन्ड्रियाक. हैरी बिलीव्स ही इज डाइंग एवरी डे. हिज हेड ब्रेन ट्यूमर, हिज कफ, अगर कफ में कुछ प्रॉब्लम है, ही स्टार्ट्स बिलीविंग ट्यूबरकुलोसिस. यहाँ पे कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है, ही स्टार्ट्स बिलीविंग हार्ट पैल्पिटेशंस हो रहा है, कुछ प्रॉब्लम है. Someone excessively anxious about their health. Someone who is excessively anxious about their health. So these were 10 words based on different speeches and 10 words based on different personality types. So this session will help you cover around 6 sessions from the book, that is Word Palm ADZ. That was all from my side, and आप मुझे comment section में बता सकते हो if you guys enjoyed this session or not. I'll see you guys tomorrow at the same time. Thank you so much. Bye everyone.